Imagine this. The world's largest gold discovery, worth nearly $3 trillion, is not in America, not in Europe, not even in Asia. It's buried beneath the soil of a small West African nation, Burkina Faso. And here's the shocking twist. France already knew about it for decades, but they kept it hidden. This is the untold story of gold, power, and control, and why Burkina Faso might hold the key to Africa's future. Burkina Faso, a landlocked country in West Africa. Most people know it for farming cotton and poverty, but beneath its dusty ground lies something extraordinary. Geologists have discovered massive gold reserves stretching across the Houndé Belt and beyond. This isn't just scattered gold. It's deep, rich veins running for hundreds of miles. And experts estimate the total value could exceed $3 trillion, enough to rival South Africa's legendary mines, enough to change global power forever. But here's the part no one tells you. This isn't a new discovery. France knew all about it years ago. During the colonial era, French companies conducted geological surveys. They mapped the gold, they studied the reserves, and then they locked the information away. Why? Because if Burkina Faso rose on its own wealth, Paris would lose control over West Africa. So France followed a strategy. Keep mining licenses under French influence. Write contracts that gave French firms nearly all the profits. And hide the real data from the public. It wasn't about helping Africa. It was about keeping Africa dependent. Fast forward to today. Burkina Faso is now the fourth largest gold producer in Africa. Every year, new mines are discovered. Houndé, Karma, Essakane, and more. But here's the reality. Despite all this gold, the country itself is still poor. Why? Because most of the profits go straight to foreign corporations, many tied to France and Canada. The government collects some taxes, but villages near the mines often face displacement, polluted water, and broken promises. So who's really getting rich? Not the people of Burkina Faso, but the same international companies that have been mining its soil for decades. And if the $3 trillion estimate is true, then Burkina Faso is sitting on one of the greatest untapped fortunes in modern history. Enter Captain Ibrahim Traoré. In 2022, at just 34 years old, he became the world's youngest president. And unlike his predecessors, Traoré made one thing crystal clear. Burkina Faso's resources must serve its people, not outsiders. He expelled French troops. He challenged French influence. And he turned toward new allies, Russia, China, even India. Traoré's vision? To use the country's gold to build schools, hospitals, infrastructure, and energy independence. For France, this is a nightmare. Because if Burkina Faso controls its own gold, France loses both wealth and power. Now let's pause and think about this. $3 trillion. That's more than the entire GDP of India. That's larger than the combined wealth of Apple, Microsoft, and Google. That's enough to make every single citizen of Burkina Faso a millionaire, if it were shared equally. But history gives us a warning. Nigeria has oil. Congo has diamonds. Yet corruption, foreign interference, and exploitation left ordinary people struggling. So the real battle in Burkina Faso isn't just about the gold itself. It's about control. Who will decide what happens to this wealth? Foreign corporations and their allies, or the people of Burkina Faso? Across Africa, the story is repeating. From Mali to Niger, from Guinea to Congo, nations are rising up saying, enough. For decades, Europe and the West enriched themselves while Africa stayed poor. But now, leaders like Traoré are refusing to play by the old rules. France fears losing its last grip on Africa. Because once Burkina Faso and its neighbors take charge of their gold, uranium, and oil, the global balance of power shifts. For the West, this is a problem. For Africa, it's an opportunity. This gold, not just metal, it's hope. Hope for independence. Hope for dignity. Hope for a future where a child born in Ouagadougou can dream as big as a child born in Paris or New York. So here we are. At a crossroads in history, Burkina Faso, once dismissed as one of the poorest nations on earth, now sits on one of the richest treasures the world has ever known. Gold worth trillions. The question is simple, yet powerful. Will this wealth finally bring freedom to Burkina Faso? Or will it once again be stolen in the shadows, just as it has been for centuries? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The world is watching, and the gold beneath Burkina Faso may decide the future of Africa itself. Call to action. Outro. If this story opened your eyes, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Because what's happening in Africa today could shape the world tomorrow. Imagine, beneath Africa's soil lies a treasure so massive, it could shake the entire world economy. And now, that secret is out. From the land of Burkina Faso has emerged the world's largest gold discovery, worth more than $3 trillion. But the real question is, will this gold change Africa's destiny, or become the root of its next slavery? The story begins in Burkina Faso, a small African nation the world hardly knew. Beneath its forests and mountains, for centuries lay hidden a sea of gold. France knew about it, but they kept it secret. Why? Because if the truth came out, Africa would rise, and a strong Africa means a weak West. Second twist, France's trap. For years, France extracted gold and resources from this land, but the real reserves, the real treasure, they hid away. Through IMF and World Bank loans, they trapped Africa in chains of debt. Nations filled with gold, yet people thirsting for electricity and water. This was France's gold trap. Third twist, Traoré's entry. But this time, the story is different, because now enters Ibrahim Traoré, the young president of Burkina Faso. Traoré revealed this secret to the world. He declared, "This gold will not be stolen from our soil. It is the right of our future generations." His vision is clear. With this wealth, new roads, factories, universities, and power projects will rise. This time, gold will not be Africa's loot. It will be Africa's strength. Fourth twist, the future battle. But will France and the West give up so easily? No. Now the real war begins, not for gold, but for currency. Dollar versus Africa. Because if this $3 trillion gold is used wisely, Africa could launch its own currency. And if that happens, the grip of the dollar and euro on the world will weaken. Fifth twist, global shock. This discovery is not just Burkina Faso's story, it is the world's story. America fears its economy could collapse. Europe worries. Africa may no longer be a debtor, but a creditor. Meanwhile, China and India are both ready to turn this into an opportunity. In the coming years, gold won't just mean jewelry. It will mean politics, wars, and the foundation of global power. So now the question is, will Burkina Faso and Africa truly change their destiny with this gold? Or will history repeat itself, turning this treasure into their new slavery? One thing is certain, this $3 trillion gold will redraw the map of the entire century. Because gold is no longer just a metal, it is power, and power can never remain hidden.